This is my now sporadic little college information vignette little videos that have to do with getting into college, paying for college, and everything related to both of those. So today, what I wanted to talk about is because we are in crunch time. It's October 23rd, right? Yes, because all the days blend in to me. I want to talk about managing your guidance counselor, particularly if you are a senior. And for those of you who have younger kids, just kind of file this away in the back of your brain somewhere, that you want to do everything in your power to work with your guidance counselor in the process of applying to college. Now, what I mean specifically is you're responsible, you as the kid slash parent, are responsible for completing the applications, doing the essays, selecting the colleges, and a whole bunch of other stuff, filing for financial aid also. But your guidance counselor also plays a role. They are the ones who make sure that the applications are good to go from the standpoint of their recommendations, from other teacher recommendations that you hopefully have requested by now and are in the common application, or in most cases in Naviance, which is what the high school uses to dump info into the Common App. They link together. I know it's complicated, but that's just the way a lot of high schools do it. As well as transcripts and other school stuff. So if you have, for example, a November 1 deadline, most guidance counselors do not want you to say, okay, today's October 31st, here are the 12 schools I want you to send all my stuff to, recommendations, transcripts, etc., etc. You need to give them your at least usually at least a week, if not 2 weeks, lead time so they can get their act together. And most guidance counselors at most high schools do a pretty good job at telling you what the deadlines are, but not every department does that. So you need to take it upon yourself to kind of put yourselves in their shoes, and don't be unreasonable in terms of asking them to like drop everything and focus on you when they have 200 other kids or maybe double to deal with. And they're not just working on college applications right now. They have other things. They have all sorts of regular guidance counselor things. They have underclassmen have issues, schedule changes, delinquencies, truancies, you name it. So they are responsible for helping with the college application process, but don't expect them to turn on a dime just because all of a sudden November 1 is an emergency. Just because it's your emergency doesn't mean it's their emergency. That's what I'm saying. Now, how do you manage them a little bit? Well, most of the time when they're writing a recommendation letter, that's based on what you have already put down on a brag sheet, or whatever your high school calls it, which is basically a way for parents to tell the guidance counselor how they see their own kids and what they'd like them to what they'd like the guidance to emphasize. So in a sense, it brag sheet description in, but it's going to help them a lot. For you, though, it's an opportunity to coach them on exactly what you want to say. So if there's ever an issue with, let's say your kid was sick and missed a lot of school in 9th or 10th grade and the grade suffered, the best person to alert college admissions officers about that is not the kid writing some kind of apologetic type of disclosure on an application, but it's really more for the guidance department to say that. So that's an example of a way that you can coach your guidance counselor. Here's my final tip here. After you have given them your final list of colleges, and they say, okay, great, we'll send the transcripts out, what you really should do, I'm not saying this to cast aspersions, trust but verify. Make sure that all of these items that they were responsible for sending, transcripts, recommendations, you name it, were sent in to each individual college. And you can either check in with your guidance department the next day or maybe 48 to 72 hours after they're supposed to do all this, or you can call the colleges themselves the next day, provided that you, of course, have done your job and submitted everything to them. And my final tip, two final tips, is that if you later add a school, in a panic, a lot of kids will be like, oh, I'm not getting into anywhere that I already applied, I'm going to add 5 schools. Please remember to go back and tell guidance to also submit transcripts and all their other materials to those additional 5 colleges as well. And I don't know what this would be. The third final tip, this post is not about financial aid, but make sure that every school that's on your list, if you're applying for financial aid, receives your FAFSA, free application for federal student aid, as well as any other forms that they want. So again, if you batch out a whole bunch of schools initially, and then you sit back and panic ensues, and you add those other 5 colleges, not only tell your guidance department about the new schools, but also submit FAFSA to those additional schools. All right, I hope you found this helpful. There's a lot of stress. This is a very high stress time. So I'm trying to get on the air and communicate more of these tips to kind of help you out. If you have any questions, pop them in comments here. Please share this with any parents that you think could use this information. Thanks a lot for watching, and we will be on the air tomorrow with College Talk Tuesday. That's at 12 Eastern Standard Time. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.